Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to take an example for lists. Okay, as I said, you lists and arrays are same. So I have taken a question from HackerEarth, that is Polygon possibility. Okay, this is the question from 1D array. Okay, which we're going to solve today. I hope you're able to look over the question. I have taken the screenshot of it, of course. Okay, so now let's go through the problem. So here we are given with an length of n sides. Okay, we're given with the length. Okay, then you need to answer whether it is possible to make n-sided convex polygons. So the first thing that you need to understand from this, that is prerequisite I should say, that is like there are two types of polygons, convex polygons and concave polygons. So we have convex polygon as this, please mind my drawings. So this is convex polygon whose all angles are not reflex, okay, whose all angles are not reflex. And then we have a concave polygon, okay, at least one angle will be reflex. Okay, do you get? This is the reflex angle that is greater than 180. Okay, so this is the difference. Like, do you understand? Like, there are two types of polygons, as I said. So it is convex polygon and a concave polygon, and we need to say, or we need to suggest, we need to say whether that particular polygon, convex polygon is possible by given n sides. So we are given with the input, that is it will contain t, that is the test cases, t as the number of test cases, and each test case will have the first line as a single integer n, and a second line will have a list, or in other language you can say an array, which are space separated. They are not comma separated, they are space separated for each side. Okay, so for what will be our output will be like each test case is going to print yes if it is possible, and it is going to print no if it is not possible to make that particular polygon. So these are some constants given, that is also important for other languages, but Python has everything inbuilt, so we are not going to discuss that. So we have the sample input and sample output. Like we have two, that is the first is the test case. So we have two as our test case, two test cases we're going to consider. Then first case we have 3 as our size, 3 number of size, which we are 4, 3, 2, which is yes, that is possible. So triangle of sides 4, 3, 2 are possible. Similarly for 4 sides 1, 2, 1, 4, that is not possible. So this polygon is not possible. That is, this is what we need to prove. Okay, or we need to, you know, we need to understand, we need to program. Now let's take the basic inputs that we need. First of all, like t is equals to int input. Okay, so okay, so this is our input. We have taken the input t, that are the test cases, and then it says for every test case we have n as a number of sides, and then we have an array. So for each test case, so for this line in bracket in range, so we are going to take from 0 to t, of course. Okay, so from 0 to t, from 1, 2, 3, whatever the test cases are, the first line is going to contain an integer which is the number of sides that particular polygon has, and then we have a list, or let's say array of elements, which which are the lengths of sides. Okay, which are the lengths of sides. So let us say I have said you, like we are given, if we are given with these space separated values, then we're going to use the map function over here. If you haven't seen our previous videos, go check that out in the I button. Okay, so we have list, then we have map. We're going to map it into integers. Okay, the input we're going to map it into integers, which I'm going to split. Okay, and it must be n elements only. Okay, if it is 3, then it must be 3 elements only. If it is 4, it must be 4 elements only, not greater than that. Okay, so starting from 0 to n, and n is not n, it is n minus 1, which we have seen already, so this is not important for now. Okay, now what? Okay, so this is what we have taken our input. This is what we have considered our input as. Okay, now let us get towards the logic or the approach what we are going to do. Okay, that is, I'm going to use a function over, I'm going to create a function over here. Okay, so before creating the function, okay, before creating the function, let us understand what we need to do. Okay, what our approach will be. So in order to create a polygon with a n given side, there is certain property that we need to follow. Okay, that property is what? I'm reading it out, please understand it very carefully, that the length of every given side must be less than the other remaining sides. Okay, means there will be a greater side of the length which will be greater, like here we have the greater side as 4, so 4. Okay, so we have 4, so here the sum of other two sides, that is 3, 4, 5, must be greater than the greater side, so this. Okay, so the sum must be greater than this. So if the condition satisfies, then we have yes, else we will have no. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, so now we can get whether it is, whether that particular number is greater, but how do we get the sum of rest elements? That is the thing that you need to focus in this. So we need to find the largest side among the given sides, and then we're going to check whether it is smaller than the sum of other sides or not. Okay, if it is smaller, then we're going to print as yes, and if it is not, then we're going to print no. Okay, now let's build a function which I'm going to call is it possible. Okay, is it possible, and I am going to input the list thing, this list and n as an argument. So I have list and n as arguments. So this is what I have created the function. This is to check whether that thing is possible or not. Okay, so now here first of all I'll get the sum as 0. Okay, so this stores the sum of all the sides. Okay, sum of all the sides, whatever we have array, that sum of all the sides, and then I have the variable called max element, let's say. So we have max element also stored 0. Okay, I'll change this sum to capital S sum. Okay, so because that is sum is also a function we can use, we have no issues, but let's be clear. So we have sum which is initialized to 0, and we have max element also which is initialized to 0. Now let's create a loop which is going to run through all the elements in that particular list, and we're going to get the sum. So for I in range n, so these are number of elements. So for I in range n, we have to get the sum. So capital SUM plus equals to a of I. Do you get this? This is very much basic programming, like sum plus equals to I. This is going to sum all the elements in the array basically. Yes, of course. Now we also need to get the max element. So max element is equals to what? Max of. Okay, this is the function which we haven't seen. Okay, so max is what? Max function is what? This function is going to take an argument like lists of numbers. Okay, or numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to put an argument over here as that particular element which we are in, and I'm going to take the current max element. This is very much important logic which I have used, and that is what is going to help us to solve this particular question. Okay, like max element is max element, the current element which we are in, and the current max element that is over here is 0. Okay, so this is very much, we are comparing which one is larger, whether it is this number which we are in or the current max number. So here it is 0, and here we have whatever 1, let's say. So of course 1 is larger, so the current max number will be 1. Okay, by this, and it's going to get increased. Okay, I is going to go through all the elements. No, so this is very much important to get what is the max element. Okay, now if the length of the largest side is less than the sum of other sides, other remaining sides. So we say if what? Sum of, okay, sorry, not this sum minus max element. Okay, sum minus max element, sorry, sum minus max element is greater than max element. Okay, this is also important, like what exactly I am doing. If what we said, what is our property, like if the if the rest of the element is greater than the max element, no, the rest of the elements, the sum of rest of the element is greater than the max element. So as here we have 4, if this 4 is less than other two, so if this 4 is less than the sum of other elements, then what, then I say return true. Okay, then return true, yes, then return true. And if it is not, like, then return, oops, what happening, return false. Of course, if it is true, then the block is going to get out, of course. If it is false, it's going to run this. Okay, if it is true, it's not going to go through this. No, you know this is very basic programming. So this is how a logic is. Now let's get back to this part, like where we are saying it is yes or no. Okay, so now what we have, like if this is, is it possible, which takes list and n, is true, then we say print yes, then we say print yes. And if it is not, that is else. Okay, if it is not, then print no. Okay, isn't that very easy? Like we have, the only thing over here is like to get this logic, this thing, like we should know the property, that what is the property for for creating a possibility of polygon, that is the length of every given side must be less than the sum of other remaining sides. The sum must be greater than the maximum element. Okay, so this is what sum minus maximum element. We had the sum of all the elements, but we don't need the maximum element, so I'm subtracting the minus elements, so max element, you get that. So this is very simple. Like we have the thing which we have used from the previous video is this, and you might have used, or you must know from this video, you must get this also. Okay, so and else everything is logic, yes, else everything is logic that we have. Now let us save this. I'm going to run it. Let's see. Okay, let's run this and let's see what we get. It's going to take time, so sorry for that. Okay, what is the issue? Okay, now let's get inputs. Like I'm going to take the same input. Okay, the same input as this. So I want to have two test cases. The first test case has 3 elements. Those are 4, 3, 2. The space separated. Let's see. Oops, A is not defined. Okay, sorry for that. Let me check that out. Where we have A. Okay, this is not A. It is LST, list, of course. Okay, here also LST, we have not A, we don't have A as any element or any variable. Now let's save this, let's run this. Okay, so we have 2 test cases. First test case has 3 elements, which has 4, 3, 2. Okay, yes, it is possible. And then we have 1, 2, 1, 4. Is it possible? Oops. 1, 2, 1, 4, invalid literal. Oops, sorry, wait, again, let's try it again. Let's run it again. So first we need to say that how many integers do we have now. So let's start again, sorry for that. 2 elements, sorry, 2 test cases, 3 elements, 4, 3, 2, space separated value, yes, it is possible. Then we have 4, sides, and then we have this 1214, and no, it is not possible. Okay, so this is very much simple, no, and that is what we got answer over here also. Yes, it is possible, no, yes, it is possible, and no, it is not possible. Okay, so this is it. I like to show you that I also have my blog in which I have given the solution Polygon possibility. Oops, we don't have internet connection. Okay, I also have blog post where I write my where I write my things, like you can get the solution source code for this. Okay, you can check that out, and thanks. Like, share and subscribe, and comment down below if you need any solution or if you need any topic explanation. Suggest me changes, what I am doing wrong and stuff. Okay, so by this I'm signing off. Thanks.